Hi, everyone. Hi, Linda.
Hey everyone.
Is Linda and Arlene. Welcome. So we're moving on in January, which is, of course, new beginnings. January represents. So it's out with the old. So as we move along, it's about our last episode was about resolutions and new beginnings and getting rid of the old and that. And that also represents change. And how do we feel about change?
Well, some people can't deal with it. I've lived my life having to change. I've had to get rid of whole houses and, I've been through divorces. And so I've learned not to be in a resistance towards change, but um, change can be really good.
Well, I say my thing is change equals life.
There you go.
Change equals life. If we are stagnant and frozen in time and place, it's like death. You just shrivel up. You're not moving, you don't move forward.
Yeah. I'm always moving forward.
Right. We're a bunch of atoms, right? And an atom, one pushes the other, to make that change. We need that. That's what life is all about.
Somebody said on some show, motion is life.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Motion is life.
The other thing is look at nature, right? Because we go through, it's the seasons, right? Everything has like a tree will go through, a flower goes through its process, butterflies, everything, all of nature. And that you need that for growth to grow. Or if not, you're just stagnated and stumped. And change, we make it as hard. It could be as hard as it could be, but and going through, there's some really difficult changes, with loss and things like that, death. When things end, whatever the end is, I equate end to like a death. It's a death process, right? Because you grieve, and you could stay locked in that.
Yeah, because some people need to grieve. I mean, you definitely need to grieve. But then there's a time to move out of that because that person isn't really dead.
No, we know that. Yeah. But and I don't know about you, like in the past with your relationships, but I know I've been in relationships, you go, when they end, it's like, oh, and you start and you're like this, and you're like, no, I'm never gonna have that again or replicate or have that portion of it.
Yeah, we tend to mourn what could have been.
And then you move on, and then you get something and it's like 1,000 times better. And you think, oh my God.
Well, a lot of the people I was so heartbroken over, I can't even remember what they look like. That tells you. But I had a lot of trouble in love, and I realized I didn't love myself. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect others to love you? And I never wanted a good, strong man who was with it. I always wanted someone I could rescue.
Ah.
So, in my book, I'm not talking about my book will be out in January, the end of this month. I'm not talking about the relationships I've had because I don't want to go there and phobic on that. I just say, if you don't love yourself, you're never going to have a good you got to have a good relationship with yourself, which just finally started happening for me.
Well, I say that also. And for, if you have children, the best gift you could give your child is to love yourself and be happy. If you're happy, it's the fountain and it's pouring out, and they see that.
Yes.
They see that and they want to emulate that. But if you're not,
exactly.
Yeah,
both my parents were depressed, especially my mom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we could feel that. We could feel that.
Well, all kids, because when we come in, they say we don't realize infants and everything, they absorb. We're big sponges, and we just we suck all that in, and that's our foundation.
Exactly.
And if we think, all of us, if we go back to that foundation, it's what we started with, and that's what we look at as what we see, and we kind of become that until we decide to make the change.
Exactly.
My daughter, because she's older, I try to say, well, gently say, how about doing this or whatever? Well, look at what I got it from. She throws it back at me. Yeah. And you know what? I go, you're right. I was a certain way, but that was then, and I made changes.
Yeah. And, I'm just giving hopefully I can hand you this little something you can, you got the jewels now, girlfriend. Those are jewels.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that crossing Delancey Street?
Sounds familiar.
It's Amy, the Spielberg Amy.
You're so
And,
good. You're so good at movies names. I'm horrible.
yeah, and she had met a pickle guy, and she had her nose up in the air. She worked at a bookstore. She thought she was all that. And he said he got her a hat. She actually loved the hat, but she wasn't interested in him, and he got a little disturbed. And he said, there was a friend of mine that had this hat, and he just never could be happy because he always had the hat down. He always looked down. But he told her she had I don't know the Jewish name for the grandmother, and that she loved her grandmother. And he told her, you know what? Listen to your grandmother. She's passing out these jewels. Take notes of what she said. Because even now, I wished I'd asked my parents more questions.
Isn't that the truth? That is the truth. Because, growing up, I could think all of us, we look at our parents and go, they're dum-dums, or they're this, or I don't like them. I wish they were different, and blah, blah, blah. But now I think back to things that they said that I thought was really crazy. Well, some of the stuff they did say was crazy. But some of the things I'm thinking, wow, they really, because they lived it, and it was their metaphors in that for life that really, hit home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So going back, we need change to move, and it's as difficult as we make it to be. It doesn't have to be. And the thing, like you said, also, we need to get out of our own way.
And don't be like this. Where is it? Where is it? I've had women I read, and I could see a man coming in their life, and they're like, well, did I miss him? Where is it? It's almost like you put yourself in a state of resistance. Relax, breathe, live your life. He will
And
come.
as you know, spirit time, you call it the realm, I call it angels. We all have our different words for it. Their time isn't our time.
Exactly.
There's no time, actually. We put time here in this linear world. When I had my angel shop, and I used to have, I used to facilitate workshops and everything. I would do a circle every week. And back then, this is like, it's going to be 20 years. Yeah, 20 years ago. It's that I actually closed. And these things used to come out, and I did research, but they would just flow through me from used to call the realm, for my angels. And they said, this world, how it's changing. And that they said, people are going to be seen for who they are. They used the phrase, they said, the masks are going to be coming off. So we're going to see the person, the true, the lies, the deception, everything. Well, that was then. I thought, okay, this is going to happen like in a year, in 2 years. Hello, fast forward. That was 20 years ago. And guess what? It's happening now. I know you do all the political thing. We're not going to do that. But with the political arena and everything, the masks are, this horrific crazies that are happening, but they're coming off. People being seen for underneath of who they really are.
People don't like to deal with who they really are.
Yeah, whatever it is, good, bad, evil, whatever. They're being seen. It's being seen. It's being seen.
Exactly.
So we're seeing that. We don't like it. We don't like it because we think it should be a certain way, and it's not. It's not. So most of us, I think all of us, we run in thought, word, and action. And most of us as humans, we live in thought and word. We could think something, we could say it. Okay, let's just use an example. I'll go back to the diet thing. Okay, so you're thinking about, oh my God, I did this. Okay, well, I'm going to be good now. I'm going to start eating healthy, whatever that represents. So you have the thought, you say the words, you could talk to people about it, but then do you do the action? That's where we fall short.
There you go.
Thought, word, you need the action to push it through. So a lot of times we're trying to create something like, say, like the perfect relation, whatever, if there's perfect relationship or a job or whatever. So we have an idea or whatever. And then you have to do the action part. It's not just I had a lot of women that would say, oh, well, I'm going to wait for Mr. Right to just fall into my lap. Well, yes, that could happen, but you have to do your part. When I finally made a decision that I wanted another relationship, and it was a conscious choice, I thought I wanted a healthy male-female relationship before I left this planet. And it was work. And I started going, I was going out like 3 times a week meeting people. It was bad.
Yeah.
And I would meet them at this restaurant, and the waitresses used to look, they did like a double take. And one day I went in with my girlfriends. I said, hey, listen, I'm not a hooker, but I'm meeting, because they saw me with these different guys each week.
Right.
But,
Is that how you met your current husband?
I did. I met him on, believe it or not, Plenty of Fish. I met him online. We'll talk about that in the next thing about manifesting. But yeah, that was funny. But I met a lot of frogs along the way.
Oh, yes.
A lot of frogs. But it's like I was educating them as I went out with them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But it was work, So
Yeah.
I did the thought, word, and the action was a lot of work to it, and sometimes, if you're looking for a new job or whatever, and it's not exactly what it is, you take what you take, and then that could lead a stepping stone to what you're actually, trying to create for yourself, because you may meet a person at that one job that knows somebody that brings you to the next level. Right.
Right. Exactly.
So, but a lot of times we say steadfast and we can't do that action part. So,
right.
Yeah. So we fall short on the action, which is the movement, and, let go of the past. And as you say, like Eckhart Tolle says, right? Be in the present, be in the now.
That's the only thing that'll save humans. And it's so simple, but people just always are in their own heads. You want to identify with something, you want to be acknowledged, but we're all part of the same energy and the omnipresent energy. And so if people can just get out of their own way, and it's not all about me, relax, take a breath, know that they heard your prayer, and allow it to come. Allowing is a very big thing.
Letting go. Yeah, we'll talk about that next. So being in the now, I heard a good analogy. They said, a good analogy is, in a car, you have what's the difference between your your mirror, your rear view mirror, and your windshield? So the rear view mirror is only this big, and that's looking in the back at the past, and the windshield is huge.
It's huge.
It's
that's a great analogy.
It's a big expanse of the horizon, right? So you can either stay there looking this way, or you could be here and waiting for it to come.
There you go, girlfriend.
Right?
I love it. Yes.
So I know, folks, this may sound quirky with these little things, but you remember these little things, and it's a good reminder for all of us. It's a good reminder for me to hear it, because I fall short. My husband always reminds me of that. Now that we're doing this, the YouTube podcast, he goes, it's like every other day, he goes, well, put that on your podcast.
There you go.
Let everybody hear you say that. And I go, well, I'm human. Well, we're not human, we're spirit, but I'm in this human existence for right now.
In this human form. Yeah.
The human form for right now. So anyway, so we're moving along here. And as we always say, be the
change you want to see.
That's right. Be the change. That's what we were talking about, the change. So what you want to create and see, be it. And what you want in the world, you want peace, be peace. It's the simple little things. We think, what we do, our actions, it's like a bucket. It's like being a little bit pregnant. You're pregnant or you're not pregnant. You're not, so you put your energy and you're talking this way, or, you go through the drive-through to pick up your prescription. They're not quick enough for you. You're going, well, you're putting that energy out there, and it's going into the cesspool.
It does.
The political cesspool. It's going into all that stuff.
You've got to, and the other thing, that would just liken to itself is drawn. You cannot create what you're not. So if you're constantly going in circles about things, you can't attract it. Just like if you always say, sure enough, I'm broke. And you fear the money factor, guess what? You keep creating exactly what you're
Yeah,
thinking.
there's the line that says, what you resist persists.
Isn't that the truth?
What you resist persists. Right? I mean, I think about it. It's true. When you're like fixated like this and you don't want to do the change, it keeps coming. That's what you're in. And I don't know about you, but I know in my life, more so in the past than that, when I was always like angry with stuff and everything, I'd end up like hurting myself. You know what I mean? I'd kick my foot, I'd bump my foot, or, when you're doing something, you're trying to make a meal and you're working fast and you're thinking, oh my God, I have to get this done. Nothing would turn out right. It's like
Something. Yeah.
that energy just spirals,
Yeah.
So, yeah, the whole thing is to try to relax and breathe and, go through it. So yeah, like we said, so be the change you want to see. And from our hearts to yours, we love you guys and love yourself. And
And it's easier said than done. It's a feeling like I've had people really don't honestly know what joy feels like. And so I've had to put them, I say to them, is there anything, like for me, it'd be meeting Gerard Butler. Is there anything
we're putting that on Linda's vision board.
So is there anything that you can go into it and feel it, taste it, and smell it? Like there's been incidents in my life, I can go right back into some real happy times. If you can do that, if you can pretend and psychically imagine whatever it is you would like, it causes a joy. So what that does is it creates more of the same. So you've almost sometimes got to go into like a fantasy.
Yeah, pretend. They say pretend until you make it. Yeah, it's true. What you want to create, put it out there. Like, because we're all in this schoolhouse. It's a play. It's a drama, and we bring
Right.
in different players at different times. We spin around, but I think we go with the same soul groups and the families. You may have been my father in another life. I may have been your husband. You may have been my, you know what I mean. You might have been my child. I might have been your child, and that's what it is. Yeah. So you pretend, and until it comes to be,
Yeah.
So
and the pretending doesn't hurt. Let me tell you. Hey, listen, there's an Olympic ice skater that talked about when he was young, he'd fantasize about winning the Olympic medal. He would be there psychically. He would imagine it. He said he always had that fantasy, and it came true.
Our thoughts. Well, you know who else did that? Jim Carrey.
And he wrote that
check for $1 million and folded up, had it in his wallet. Well, he made over $1 million, but he had that there, and it showed. We should have him on. He's spiritual. But what you said about some people don't know joy, and I wonder if you said to them, how about I think for most people, like a newborn baby. I mean, when that, you know what I mean? Seeing a newborn,
because there's some really sad
or
energy.
or a puppy or a kitten, right?
Some people that really didn't have a good upbringing, and so they have a terminal sadness.
Yeah. Well, they don't know how to move out of that, and they keep playing that. You play that record
over and over.
It etches in further. And I said, well, I sat with people crossing over in hospice, it could be 90 years old or whatever, and they have recall of something that happened to when they were 5 years old. They'll talk about.
Oh yeah.
Right? They go back to that.
Just vividly see it. Yeah.
If they haven't healed and healed that part, they go back to that. They go back to those wounds.
Yeah.
We have those wounds. We all do. So
we all do.
But we love you guys. Love yourself. And
love yourself.
Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribe to us, please, and write to us. Let us know what you think. All nice things.
Any ideas for the show?
And things you want to hear about.
Sounds good.
From our hearts to yours. always enjoy, love, peace, inner peace. If you have that, man, you have it all.
There you go.
Till next time. Bye. Bye, honey. Love you.